What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another review. This time we're taking a look at Men in Black 2, directed by Barry Sonnenfeld, once again starring Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones. I'm just going to say it like this. Men in Black 2 is not a horrible movie, but it's definitely a weak movie when you compare it to the first movie. Now, I think Men in Black 2 overall does have its moments, but to me, this is just a forgettable movie with a very, very bland, boring story. Pretty much, there's this alien named Serena who's come down to Earth to look for the light of Zartha, and in her journey to find this light of Zartha, she pretty much destroys MIB headquarters, putting it in total lockdown. And now it's up to Jay to try and find the light of Zartha, but in so doing so, he has to find K, denoralize him, and make him back and make him a Men in Black again. Basically, this movie is a remake of the first movie with a role reversal. Instead of K being the mentor to J, it's J being a kind of sort of mentor to K, trying to get his memories back. The movie hits a lot of the same beats that K and J did in the first movie. That's why MMA 2 always just comes across as just a remake of the first movie. Now, does that make this a bad movie? No, it does have some good moments here and there. Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones, their chemistry is just as sharp in this movie as it was in the last movie. This movie further explores the relationship between these two, which is a really cool and very subtle father and son type of relationship that they do have with one another. And Jones and Smith together have outstanding chemistry. Like these two together are like a match made in heaven. You got Will Smith, who was new hotness, and you got Tommy Lee Jones, who's old and busted, and they work together so well. Some of the running jokes in this movie I thought are actually pretty funny. The whole running gag of Jay neuralizing all his partners is actually pretty funny. We actually see him neuralize his current partner named Agent T, played by Patrick Warburton, and the movie also says that he neuralized Dr. Weaver, who was became a Man in Black at the end of the first movie. Uh, that's another thing. Like the character of Dr. Weaver, she became a Men in Black at the end of the first movie, and then in this movie, the excuse for not having her is that she wanted to go back to the morgue. So basically, all the stuff that happened with that character in the last movie was all for nothing, since we're not even going to have her. That's criticism number one. Another criticism that I have, the villain Serena, she's not imposing, she's not intimidating at all, and I just don't think the actress who played her has any charisma whatsoever. She comes across as just very bland and very forgettable. She's not like she's not like Edgar from that first movie. No, Edgar is memorable. Serena is forgettable. And it's a shame because you could have done some good stuff with the whole Light of Zartha storyline, particularly since you have Rosario Dawson playing Laura, who was revealed to be the Light of Zartha. And the movie also implies that Agent K could be her father. And well, I don't know why the movie just didn't flat out come and say it. I mean, they hint at it near the end of the movie that K is possibly Laura's father because he had a little bit of a thing with Lorana, who is a Zarthanian, who had put the Light of Zartha on Earth that K was responsible for being in charge of. So like, I would have just did the reveal of Laura being K's daughter because I think that would have had the ending be more of an emotional punch. Like K gets his memories back, finds out he has a kid, but he at the end, but he also has to let her go back to her home world for the sake of the human race. And Jay, who was developing a relationship with this person, also has to agree with Kay and let her go back because for the greater good. I think that would have packed more of an emotional punch already knowing that Kay and Laura were about Kay already knowing that Laura was her daughter. I think that would have been done so much better. But overall, I thought Rosario Dawson was fine in the role as Laura. She was okay. Her and Will Smith have decent chemistry, and the movie does try to build some sort of a romance between these two. And I think for the most part, it works. Uh, some good side characters from that first movie return in this one, like Frank the Pug returns. He, for a little bit, he becomes Jay's partner, and their chemistry is funny. Zed, Rip Torn as Zed returns, and Zed has a couple of cool moments to himself, getting into a little brief fight with Serena. That was fun to see. The whole bit of Jay trying to denoralize K is funny, which brings back the character of Jeeves, once again played by Tony Shalhoub. That's always entertaining to see. The action is well directed. It looks good. The CGI looks not so good, but the practical makeup effects look great. The alien designs are very, very unique and stand out, so I do like that. The overall storyline to this movie is weak. Uh, the overall storyline to the movie is very weak. The villain is very forgettable, very bland and very forgettable. But the movie does have some interesting ideas. Like I like how they turned the MIB, the Men in Black stories, into like these unsolved mysteries, which because this movie has Peter Graves explaining Men in Black, explaining what the Legend of Zorro was. So I thought that idea of having the MIB stories be told as urban legends was actually pretty cool. David Cross returns from the first movie as Newton, so he introduces us to that. Uh, so yeah, like to me, there's not really a whole lot to say about Men in Black 2. I just think it's a forgettable movie. It's not great, but it does have some fun moments, mostly from the characters. Everything else in between is just very forgettable. This really feels like a movie that nobody really wanted to make, or if they wanted to make it, this is not the story that they wanted to tell. But listen, from a technical standpoint, I thought Barry Sonnenfeld did do a good job. Like visually, the movie looks fine. It has good cinematography. The actors still look like they're, even though I feel like this movie does not need to be made. You know, Smith and Jones, they bring their A game like they always do, and it does have a decent supporting cast. You know, Johnny Knoxville's in this movie. He plays a henchman to Serena, and he's actually not that bad. He's actually okay. He has a couple of funny moments here and there. But yeah, those are just my overall thoughts for Men in Black 2. It's just a solid, to me, this is a solid 4 out of 10. It's forgettable. It's not as memorable as the first movie, but it does have some okay moments to it. Like the opening prologue with J and T chasing down this giant ass worm in the subway called Jeff is actually a lot of fun. So, yeah, 4 out of 10 for Men in Black 2. Those are just my overall thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment sections down below, and I'll check you back next time for more. Later.